Welcome my fellow creators. Today we're going to be starting the Redstone Bunker series. So this is going to be a series that is pretty long, I would think. And it will be once a week, so you'll get a video every week, probably on the Sunday or Saturday. I don't know yet. But anyway, we're going to use white concrete as a base material, then blocks of iron and iron trapdoors as accents, then a little bit of stained glass and sea lanterns to light up the place, and finally stone slabs for the ceiling or the floor. I have not decided on that yet. But I want to build the lobby right now, and for that I'm thinking of a elliptical or maybe even round room, and at the end we're going to have my elevator system that I showed you a few days ago. I think 3 or 5, I don't know. But I'm going to build a room and then we're going to start with the redstone for the elevator. So this is the shape I came up with. It looks kind of like a teardrop, but I've already marked out the places for the elevators. So this is going to be a elevator system where one elevator is always on the top floor and one is always on the bottom floor. But right now I'm deciding on what lighting I should use, and I have already tried bushes and they don't really look that good in my opinion. But I think this could maybe work and maybe have something useful above this. But if we just mirror that, I think that's on that block exactly. I think that really brings out a very nice character, and I don't really want to put very many lights, so maybe I'll also do it in the ceiling. I don't know yet. But now we can start working on the elevator. I've now placed in the shafts that go all the way down, as you can see right here. And this is going to be our level where we are going to dismount. And now we're going to move on to building the slime block flying machines. So for that we're going to place in a layer of slime blocks just like this. And then towards the entrance we're going to place in a sticky piston facing up and one facing down. And if you want a detailed tutorial on this, as I said before, check out my tutorial. But then just place in the observers as you would normally with a flying machine. And then we have our flying machine, and I like to have slabs right here, but full slabs just like this. And now we can see the observers are in this direction, and I have to now mirror it. So slime block, glass, observer, observer, and sticky pistons. And the glass isn't necessary, I just like to have a full unit so that no air spaces are there. And now we're pretty much done with the slime block elevators themselves. I'm going to send one up just by doing this. And one problem that I now have is that I forgot to place any stopping mechanism. So I'm just going to leave a unmovable object right there, but then right there too, and finally there too. Maybe you can't see something. I'm just going to get a sea lantern, but as you can see I've now stopped the elevator from going anywhere, so that we can start with our redstone. And for that I'm just going to get some more space, so just use the fill command. I think the fill command is the most genius thing in Minecraft ever, so it's so practical. You could use MC-Edit, and I used MC-Edit for this entire area because fill doesn't do more than 32,000, I think. But it is very practical and you don't have to have another application. But now we're going to start with the stopping mechanism, and for that we're going to use normal blocks that are going to stop the elevator. We could also use pistons, but I think normal blocks are much cooler. And these are going to be retracted by sticky pistons. And I'm just going to get myself some concrete where I can place in the redstone on. So sticky pistons right here and sticky pistons right here. And now I have to place in a torch tower, which is going to power all of these pistons. So right there and right there. And let's look at where the observers are. So right there we have to power that observer to let it go down, which means that we have to have another normal piston right here to update that observer, just like this. And that's going to give us this effect. So it's not the prettiest, but it will work, and that's the main goal. But now we have to go down here, and I should really light it up for you guys. So just place in some sea lanterns so that you can see. I always have that problem with the YouTube videos. So if other YouTubers don't have light sources, I think that's very how do you say it? It's not really their fault, but it's quite annoying. So that's why I always do put light sources everywhere. But now we're going to power this, and then with a redstone torch we're going to send the signal back down. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, just counting how many blocks I can go down. And right here I can have a redstone block, and this has to update these observers. So just right here and another piston right here, and one is already powered. That's great, but I will have to update that all the time, so just place in that piston. And now we can place in the rest of the shaft. I could also have used terracotta, so glazed terracotta, and maybe I'm going to do that with the this light blue one, because I think that's a very nice pattern. But for a bunker, I think this gray is perfect, even though I'm going for a theme where everything is sanitized and white. But anyway, now that we have the shaft, we can remove the immovable objects. So one just up here and up here, I think, yes. And now let us test if it is working. So it should now send one elevator up and one down. So let's look at that. Yes, one is coming up and one is going down. Perfect. Now we just have to hook up the inputs, and we're going to probably have the inputs right here. So maybe a button here. Is that possible under any circumstances? So just like this, and then a button on a lamp. I like lamp, or no, not even a lamp, but terracotta. This terracotta, because it has a arrow pointing in the direction that we want it to. So I think I have to do it from this side or something like that. I can't really figure these orientations out. What do I have to do here? that's not right. Oh, I'm going to there. No, I think on the other side. Yes, that's perfect. Because if it's down on this side, on the opposite side, it's then up. Just like with a dice, both sides are 7. But right here we have our first input, and we can just get a output from that input. See what I did there? But with a redstone lamp, and this is going to power a observer. But we just want one signal, so I have to place in a stick piston, which is going to power a dropper, just like this. And then input into this, and I'm going to use a different concrete, so lime maybe. And I always have my redstone on some kind of material that's not in the build, so I'm never going to use white as a redstone component concrete, because I use white in my builds. But I think concrete is a perfect addition for redstone, because it doesn't really have a texture, it's just one color, and that's perfect because we had to use wool or clay, now terracotta, before, and that had a texture which was distracting, in my opinion. You can have a other opinion, of course, but this has to be on 4ticks. And now let us take a look at where we can place the input right here. I would place it right here, maybe. Yes, let's try that. So that should be this block. Yes, that's that block. So go down 2 blocks and make sure that nothing is powering that. And this is going to give out a output. How can we route this? Yes, I think this is the method. Yes, that's perfect. So we're going to power a dropper, and this is going to go in a observer line to the input from the other observer line, and now it should work. So just place in the button, and one should go down. Yes, it does, and one should go up. Now we can just patch the redstone. So right here you can see the redstone if it retracts, so we have to prevent that. Just place in some concrete or any other block, and I think that's pretty much it for the elevator. Let's try it. Make sure we can't see anything. Yes, that's perfect, I think. Just before the elevator arrives, and yes, we did it. So we still have time left in the video, and I want to do the main entrance, which is going to be a 3x3 hipster door, which is made out of sand or concrete powder. So I have a triple piston extender right here, and we now are going to place in the redstone. I haven't designed anything yet, so bear with me. But first of all, we are going to have to place in a line to power the bottom piston, and I'm using repeaters here for a reason. So right here we have a double piston extender, I think. Yes, that's a double piston extender. And then I think we just have to place in droppers right here, or maybe lamps, I don't know. I think lamps are better because they don't have any noise. Then place in observers. This should activate the upper one. Yes, but it doesn't really seem that good. Let us just try droppers. No, it doesn't function the way I want it to. So, oh, I have an idea. So I think the input is right here, So just have a line of repeaters and then that. This should work. Yes, it still works the way it should. And now the only thing holding us back is probably, yes, we have to first power that one, then power this, and when we turn the lever off, first depower this and then depower this. Oh no, we have to power it once. So what are we going? Oh, I have a brilliant, no, it can't work that way. Maybe, yes, that's a good idea. So I'm going to have an input right here somewhere, and this input is going to, first of all, we're going to take the redstone line down here, and then the input is going to push down a block of redstone, and down here there's another, oh no, that won't work either, but just like this will work. And then if we update this with this redstone line, it will be back up again. So that's perfect. And now what we should do is probably, so we have a input right here, then a lamp, observers going down, and then vortex repeaters. I think they have to be on vortex, just like this. And then this should work. No, it sadly doesn't work, and I know why. That's interesting. Very interesting indeed. So, oh, I have a simple fix. We just have to reverse the state. So right now it's in the extended position. So right here and up here, just griefing a little bit, and then I think this should work now. Yes. Oh, it's too fast. That's the problem. I understand. So reset it, and now it should work, shouldn't it? It's still too fast, but there's still a spot for a repeater. And now it should work. Yes. Oh, it's too slow now. We have to find the right balance. So now it should be down here. Now it should be up there. And that's perfect. So now we're just going to get ourselves some white concrete powder and test it. So now it should extend fully. Yes. And I would say it's a pretty quick opening sequence. I didn't have the chance to go up there in that time. So now we just have to have some inputs, and I would do it right here. So one input right there. Or I'm probably going to replace this with a passcode, but for now I'm going to do this. And down here we have a piston. We're just going to be constantly updated by observers, by a observer clock. Or no, where is the button exactly? It's down here, right? So maybe we're going to get out. No, that won't work. Maybe here. Yes, that would work perfectly. Just have a stick piston facing down, and then that. Oh, I have a idea. So we're going to have a T flip-flop with a block of redstone right there. And then this is going to toggle it, right? Yes. And yes. Okay, that's perfect. Now we just have to have another input. And this is going to be on the other side. I'm a bit lazy, but it's going to power the same system, which is quite funny, I think. But now we have our main gate. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any feedback or suggestions for what background music I could use, I would love them in the comments down below. But anyway, if you want to see more of this redstone bunker, you can subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos where I post other fun redstone and some of the creations I use right here. But anyway, I hope to see you in the next one.